second down in this one. The late Tom Petty in between quarters for the Florida fans. We start the fourth in a one-point game. Second down and 4 for Florida. And the direct snap to Tony on a Wildcat. Trying to get free, and he got the first down and then some. Tony out to midfield. He ran about 12 yards to get 4, but that's what he does. Here we go, partner. 15 left. This is kind of what we thought we were going to get.
Ben here's seen it before, and perfect was what you said. No backing down in this game from that 2007 game. You got to just keep playing because the guy across from you ain't backing down, so you have no choice.
This time Tony can't handle the snap, but he one-hops it to himself, and he got back about 3 yards shy of the line of scrimmage. So we didn't see a lot of that up until the first couple snaps of the quarter.
Well, when your quarterback is 6'6" and your Wildcat guy is 5'8", maybe that's the reason. I think that Felipe Franks could have caught that one, but it was high.
So Felipe says, okay, you left me with a 2nd and 14.
Right.
Meanwhile, Ed Alexander, one of the defensive tackles, down right now for the Tigers here early in the fourth quarter.
Need more space.
Is your mom in there?
Since Nana's moved in plan.
Nope.
Let us help with your plan.
Yeah, we can do that.
Well, that sounds like a plan.
Start a plan that flexes with yours. New York Life.
$2.99 for a car hop classic. What a steal.
Steal? That's a heist. Put this on.
Oh, disguise.
I don't think I can eat in this.
It's all part of the plan, my friend.
Get a quarter-pound double cheeseburger or a Slinger Plus Tots for $2.99. Try it today.
Not long ago, Rhonda started here. And then more jobs began to appear. These techs in a lab, this builder in a hard hat, the welders and electricians who do all of that. The diner staffed up because they all needed lunch. Teachers, doctors, jobs grew a bunch. What started with one job spread all around because each job in energy creates many more in this town. Energy lives here.
Now it's time for our ExxonMobil game recap between the Tigers and the Gators. Joe Burrow has mixed it up, 18-23 for 163. No touchdowns, no interceptions, but he led them on a scoring drive to open the game and got the second touchdown. Rosette and Knick-Knack Gators sack. They've had 3 of those today for the Florida defense. That's how they wanted to play. And you got to give Pirine a bone. 13 for 59 for Lameco, including a touchdown. And Frankly, my dear, laid out there for the touchdown that gave him the lead back to the tight end. A mistake over the middle as Grant Delpit with his 3rd interception of the season. We've got a couple of field goals in there from Cole Tracy, and that's how we sit right now at 14-13.
And the Florida fans felt that Ed Alexander might have been embellishing this injury because he walked off the sideline and then just kind of went down on the play. Watch your left side of the screen, number 99. I think as he bent over, though, he just cramped up. This is not a game where either team is doing hurry up. In fact, Dan Mullen on the year, this team is only averaging 59 plays a game, and that includes a game against Colorado State when they ran 83 plays.
I'm not 331 pounds either, but I think I'd be cramping up if I was down there.
Totally. That was no tactic there. That was just a big guy cramping up, needing some liquids.
Second down and 14 for Felipe Franks and the Gators offense. He's got Scarlett with him in the backfield. They fake it to him. Plenty of time to load and loft one long. Should be a flag. There it comes. Tyree Cleveland, the intended receiver. Christian Fulton just had too much of him.
That's why you have to throw the ball deep in college football. You're not going to complete them, but you're going to get interference called.
Defense, number 22, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
First he grabbed his bicep, and then right at the end he grabbed his wrist. Cleveland is a sprinter. We've seen it on the punt coverage, and that definitely slowed him down. I don't know if he could have got to that pass, but you're going to get called for 15 yards. And remember, it was long yardage for this Florida offense.
That's right.
That's another big penalty for this LSU team in the second half. That's their fourth. Remember the punt down here? They've had 4 different penalties that have cost their team.
There's motion. False start on the left side on Martez Ivy. I still think if that's not pass interference, it's a touchdown. So that penalty wasn't so bad after all. But
5-yard penalty, first down.
Well, it's possible to know for sure. You're right, because Cleveland is a sprinter, and we saw him complete one just like that against Tennessee, right?
Yep. As you look in from high above with 14 minutes to play, 89,000 fans sitting on the edge of their seats and have been in this game that's been close throughout. Play action. Frank's trying to get rid of it. Did somehow to the sideline. He had Michael Divinity draped all over him.
He's in the pocket. Now that ball has to be thrown to somebody. Divinity gets there and gets through 2 blockers. Is the ball thrown to somebody? Yes, there is a Florida player over there, and that's the 240 pounds of Frank that comes through on that play.
And lives for another play at 2nd down and 15.
By the way, that's a linebacker that is close to 240 pounds as well. He shook off.
All 3 receivers to Frank's left. Looks that way, steps up, throws short to the 40, complete. And we go to New York, a Ford update. Here's Zook.
All right, Ness, thanks. The Buckeyes had trailed Indiana 17-14. That changed quickly. You think this guy's open? Paris Campbell gets the pass from Dwayne Haskins. 71 yards later, the Buckeyes are on top, 35-20. Haskins with 4 touchdowns, 5 incompletions. Back to you.
Kind of easy to pad your stats with a guy like that wide open.
LSU has been able to get really no pass rush with just their front 4. Coach Orgeron told us that's the biggest disappointment in this team. He does not have that guy who makes the offense get scared. Will he be forced to bring pressure?
Caleb on Chason would have been that guy. He's out for the year. Franks trying to buy himself some time. Throws, and it is complete to Kadarius Toney, short of the first down.
Does Toney get his foot down? Let's take a look here. I don't think, well, we can't tell in that one. It's his right foot.
Boy, that's bang, bang.
Right there, I don't see anything yet. I could overturn that yet. The blue of his shoe is close. That's how much expertise I'm going to give you so far.
Those are brand new cleats, too.
I don't think he's on the white. On that pick, I can't see that toe on the white.
On this one, it looked a little different right there.
It did, didn't it? Yeah, I think that evidence right there, it looks to me like his toe's on the line. Remember, there's a blue toe. A blue part of his shoe is more than just the white of his shoe. There's something in front. And yes, I think Greedy Williams giving him that little shove took that momentum and pushed him into the white line. I think it's going to come back.
Gerald Hodges is our replay official, so.
And it's really important because if it does come back, that'll make it about a 57, 58-yard field goal. We could get Dunlap to move out of the way there. Nope, he's not in the way. Boy, this is, I'll tell you, different angles give you different looks on this play.
Yeah.
So if you're the replay official, how do you overturn it? It's a difference between a 57-yard field goal and a 48-yard field goal.
And McPherson has hit a 48-yard field goal, his longest of the season.
How can 2 pictures look so different?
After review, the player's foot was out of bounds. Therefore, it's an incomplete pass. It'll be 4th down at the previous spot.
2 different views look different. I guess you only need one to make it incomplete.
So the punting unit has to come out. As Gary said, a drastic difference.
Yeah, because that would have been a field goal try for sure.
Tommy Townsend last week could have been almost the player of the game, the way he knocked 5 punts inside the 20-yard line in the win over Mississippi State. That's all he wants to do right here to keep Jonathan Giles from doing anything with it as a return man on the other end. Much too far. So he didn't keep it in the field of play, even though Cleveland was down there trying to field it right at the goal line.
I think he would have caught it easily if he didn't have to stop at the same time and keep his feet short of the line. He knew he was close to the line, and he tried to reach over and did not do it.
We're in a small room.
What? Welcome.
A bigger room?
How many of you use car insurance?
Oh.
Well, what if I showed you this?
Ho, ho, ho!
Wow.
It's a computer.
We compare rates to help you get the price and coverage that's right for you.
That's amazing. The only thing that would make this better is if my mom were here. What an unexpected ending!
Here we go, and I don't care what we do. Just take me with you.
There are roadside attractions, and then there's our world-famous on-road attraction, the 2019 GLC. Visit your local Mercedes-Benz dealer for exclusive offers.
Daryl. Hey, Daryl.
Hey.
Hey, how much would you pay for something you don't want?
Nothing. Is this a test?
No. Question 2. Do you like getting stuff you like for free?
Yes, this feels like a test.
It's not. It's just why Verizon lets everyone in your family get the unlimited plan they need without paying for stuff they don't. And why Verizon gets you 6 months of free Apple Music.
Did I pass?
Not a test, but yeah, you passed.
The music you want, the unlimited plan you need on the network you deserve. Now get up to $300 off our latest phones.
The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by Royal Caribbean, Mercedes-Benz, New York Life, and by Sonic. The F-16s from earlier before the national anthem on the flyover here in Gainesville. And a look from our Chick-fil-A pylon cam down low as we still have a one-point game with 12:48 to go.
Can LSU find some help for Joe Burrow? They have not been able to run the ball, only 19 yards in the third quarter.
Here's Brosette finding him some room and some help. Nick Brosette all the way out to the 50.
Going into that play, the longest run of the day was by Joe Burrow for 21 yards. Remember, this is a Florida defense that gave up over 300 yards rushing against Kentucky. You've got to be able to keep the balance. Yes, Joe Burrow's having a good game, but LSU must get back in the game with the running game to help the passing game.
Brosette went 31 to the 49. In Gator territory, trailing by 1. They send Jefferson in motion. Fake it to Brosette. Burrow on the run, throws late and out of bounds. Oh, not out of bounds. Look out over there. Almost a sensational catch by Justin Jefferson. He just ran out of real estate on the far side.
I tell you, if you watch Justin Jefferson play out there as a wide receiver, he's smart. He runs good routes. He catches the ball. Of course, you know, his two brothers played at LSU. Not a big-time recruit, just a 3-star. But he did not even catch a pass for this team in 2017. But he has really emerged as one of the stars on their offense.
You talked about the lineage. Of course, Jordan, his brother, played quarterback about 9 years ago. Ricky, his other brother, he's 5 years older, played defensive back. Here comes Brosette. And Nick Brosette on the way. Two biggest runs of the day, and it's 1st and goal.
Yeah, could feel it coming. You could feel that LSU went back there and said, we're having trouble, guys, protecting the quarterback. You're going to have to man up and make some blocks. You've got to help this offense out. You got to block them up front. There's no way to run away from it.
As Brissett comes right at you with pylon cam, that's where he stepped out.
Damian Lewis and Austin Deculus both produced great blocks on that play, and now you've got an extra offensive lineman in the game and playing right tight end.
2 more yards for LSU, and they've got the lead back. Flags before the snap.
12 men
illegal
for Florida.
Substitution on the defense. 12 in the formation. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Just outside the 1.
Well, you know, there was nothing there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
So now it's at the 1-yard line. Let's see if Joe Burrow takes it himself. Nope, keeps it on the ground inside. Touchdown. Nick Brissett. He did all the work, and he got the final yard.
Coming into that drive, LSU had only rushed the ball for the game less than 100 yards. 95 yards coming into that game, and they went to the ground, and they took it to them. All of the yards on this drive came on the ground.
And they're set to go for 2 here with a 5-point lead to try to make it a touchdown. Game 7. Center. Jefferson, they fake it to him on the sweep. Burrow throwing to the back corner, broken up. Trey Dean, the freshman, knocks it away from Derek Dillon.
He did, and also Chauncey Gardner made a great play, taking out the back in the flat, nowhere to go. Gardner Johnson, number 23, see him covering Brissett on the play, only one guy to throw to, and Dean makes the play.
Long drive, missed 2-point conversion, but LSU's back in front.
How does Dove Men Plus Care Antiperspirant protect you differently?
This is soothing. It's comfortable.
Dove goes on smoothly. You don't have to worry about drying out your skin.
Try Dove Men Plus Care, the only antiperspirant with 48-hour sweat protection, and Dove's 1/4 moisturizer technology. Tough on sweat, not on skin.
Know what goes great with steak and shrimp? More shrimp. And you know what goes great with that shrimp? You guessed it, more shrimp. Steak and unlimited shrimp starting at $15.99. Only at Outback.
Our parties are much less crowded than this.
Ooh, and our beers are much fancier than that. Why did we invite them again?
We're raiding the castle and needed a distraction.
Attack, man! Bud Light, for the many, not the few.
Ooh, Brad, check it out. There's a variety of packages, so we can take care of any additions you want to do up here. This could be a song about home insurance.
All right, I'll try that.
Wait. Maybe it's about auto insurance.
With Nationwide, you can save up to 20% by bundling your home and auto insurance.
Bundling home and auto. 2 songs in one. What do you call that, a crossover?
No, it's more of a mashup.
Yeah, mashup. You see, that's why we're a great band.
We're not a band.
Yes, we are. We are a band. I am in a band.
When your workout ends, ours begins. Recover better with Core Power, the official protein drink of LSU Athletics.
I don't want to run into Dave and get another, hey, neighbor.
Cedric the Entertainer and Max Greenfield.
Hey, neighbor.
The Neighborhood, new episode Monday.
Sometimes in the running game, your running back has to make it go. Nick Brissett feels it and cuts it and makes it go. And sometimes the offensive linemen have to make it go. Watch 76. Austin Deculus right there. Watch him help on the snap and then go find the linebacker. 2 blocks on one play. You can't do better than that. That's what makes it go. Sometimes it's the running back. Sometimes it's the offensive line.
Well, the first run was 31. The second was 42. The last one was for the touchdown. 79 yards of that 80-yard drive in a minute and a half. Nick Brissett.
Got all choked up watching that pass blocking and run blocking.
You got choked up.
Cutting. Yes, I got all choked up on it.
come back out to the 25 for Florida. Now finding themselves trailing again by 5. Coming up after our game, stay tuned for the CBS Sports College Football postgame show presented by Capital One. I'm sure it'll be a capital job done by Zook and Rick and DJ. Here we still got a lot of football left. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, Jamie Erdahl with 11:14 remaining. We talked about this about 3 hours ago, and it's come to fruition again. Last 4 decided by a touchdown or less.
Since the long pass, then the interception following, 4 for 9 Franks is for 16 yards.
And 3 and outs. He looks left, has to come back the other way to throw it away. Devin White was getting in his face. Those two are having a little chat, a couple of smiles. Good sportsmanship there.
The signature of this LSU defense is if you play in the secondary for LSU, you better be ready to play man-to-man defense. And that's what they did right there. Played man-to-man, nowhere to go with the ball.
Second and 10 from the 25. 2 tight ends in there for Florida right now. They're bunched in on the left. Franks fires one. Back shoulder throw and a beauty. Van Jefferson.
Cow. You went against 2 future NFL players right there. Greedy Williams on Van Jefferson. Watch this throw in. Grant Delpit comes over and rips him. What a play. What concentration to hold on that ball.
2 guys that are going to be playing on Sundays sooner or later. And what a catch by Jefferson and a nice throw by Franks. And they're in LSU territory.
Sometimes one guy's just better than the other guy.
And Franks has to throw another one away.
Like I say, sometimes it's a scheme and sometimes it's just the guy.
Take a look at the Associated Press top 10. Alabama gave up some points, but put 65 up, 4 touchdown passes and 300 yards plus for Tua in the first half of that game. We mentioned Georgia's got a date with Vandy tonight. Clemson's putting it on Wake Forest. Zook told you about the Ohio State-Indiana game, and here number 5 is leading number 22 by 5.
And Oklahoma took a tough one.
They did. Well, they tried this play earlier. It was big. It is all the way to the 32. LSU can't stop this one, Gare.
Well, Fred Heggie, number 61, does a great job on the option. Watch him come out right there, cleans up, and then blocks it, and nothing in the back that time. That option play has been a go-to play. Both teams have found a running game to help them in the fourth quarter here.
He right now is 76 on the ground. First down at the 32. Franks loads, fires, far side. Oh, not quite. I thought Grimes could hold it, but not quite.
I thought Fulton thought he had it, but the ball just kept flying. Strong arm by Felipe Franks. You could see Kristen Fulton says, I'm going to hit. No, it's not. It's over my head, and you're right. Grimes, I got it, and not as good as Van Jefferson.
And from pylon cam, I got it, I don't have it. Second and 10. All 3 receivers up top. On the ground, Pirine, maybe 3 more.
Rashard Lawrence, number 90 that time, just was able to grab the shoestrings of the running back, or it would have gained 4 or 5 more yards. Number 90, middle of the screen, watch him come off and just reach out and make the play. Just grab the toe.
And I tell you, Tyler Jordan got a good block on Devin White on that play as well. Here's Franks on the run. His coach wanted to be tough running. He does there to get inside the 20, down to the 17.
Well, this time, he didn't have to be as tough because the offensive line was cleaned out. Jawan Taylor, number 65, just crushed the right side of that running play, and it was open running for Felipe Franks as soon as he caught the ball.
2 out of 3 in the red zone, touchdown-wise today. Let's see if they can get another one. Here's an end-around pass. Back to Franks to the 3. Lucas Krull, a lefty, took The handoff that went right back to his quarterback.
Dan Mullen loves the gadget plays. You bring in a new player. No one at LSU knows he's left-handed.
The only reason I did is he threw that in practice the other day. At the 2-yard line. P-Ryan off tackle, touchdown, Florida.
What an answer. And now Florida will go for 2. A little bit of everything on this drive. Last play, Lucas Kroll threw. This play, he blocked and got his man into the end zone for the touchdown.
2-point attempt coming up to try to make it a field goal difference.
Tell you what, if you want to dial up a close game, just do LSU against Florida. They seem to always produce.
2-point conversion. Franks rolls, getting pressure, has to throw it away. It remains 2019.
They just about ran the same play, both sides, and it was almost defended exactly the same by both defenses.
First, the lefty Kroll takes it, throws it back to Franks. Tim Tebow is smiling somewhere. And then the guy that's been the workhorse in the third quarter, LaMichael P-Ryan, caps it off. It's a 1-point game again.
Experience Control GX for Men, the first shampoo with a brain. So smart, it reduces gray gradually. The more you shampoo, the less gray you have. How smart is that? Gradually reduce gray with Control GX shampoo from Just for Men.
Melty cheese, grilled onions, and steak on this foot-long Philly are so flavorful.
Man, do I love a good steakhouse.
Steakhout, nice.
You would not believe what they are doing in there.
Making cheesesteaks?
What are you, one of them?
For a limited time, try classic or spicy foot-long Philly. This is how you Sonic.
If you've ever needed more capacity, more features, and more for your hard-earned dollar, the time has never been more right. Get guaranteed lowest prices on top brands like the Samsung laundry pair, now just $6.48 each. The Home Depot, more saving, more doing.
Who's this guy?
I'm Aaron's agent.
You're not his agent. Gabriel is his agent.
He's my State Farm agent. We just combined his home and auto insurance.
Well, I was not expecting to get an arch rival today, but here we are.
I think it'll fit.
Want a performance car that actually fits your life? Introducing the new 2019 Ford Edge ST. Capability meets power in the first SUV from the Ford Performance team. The new 2019 Ford Edge ST.
When a rock star moves in, you've got to make room. If we don't still use it, we lose it.
If we ain't playing, it ain't staying.
New Happy Together, CBS this Monday.
The Gators are into it, including their head coach. Deafening noise in here during that timeout. 8:48 to go. Florida by 1. LSU will work from its 25-yard line. Two drives, the ground game has come to life. Both quarterbacks have had their moments.
But remember, it was loud at Auburn. Very similar situation. And Joe Burrow let him down for a field goal to win the game. He's got experience. The guys in that huddle are looking at him and believe he can do it again.
Edwards-Helaire in the backfield. The shift All three receivers to the left. They pitch it that way. Edwards-Helaire spinned away from one guy, but not the rest of the Gators. And a loss of one. Henderson turned him in. David Reese and company finished him off, and Joseph is shaken up again for about the third time.
Well, this play worked earlier in the day. Steve Emsinger, offensive coordinator, came back to it, but this time Florida was ready for it. And the way they did it was C.J. Henderson just attacked the play as soon as the pitch went. Watch Henderson come off of the wide receiver. He reads it right away, and he makes the play. Joseph landed on that left shoulder again, or his left rib. You see him grab the left side.
Torrey Carter landed on him, number 44 right there. Jamie, what do you got?
He's in a lot of pain down here. It was that left side low back. They were about to help him up, but they want to keep him on the ground right now. I mean, he's moving everything around, but yeah, he went right to that low side left back.
You know, it's the only good thing for Vashon is each time he's been hurt, it's been something different. He's not aggravating the last one.
And in this case, at least he's on his own sideline.
Watch when he lands. I think he lands on his own elbow here on his side, and he reaches right away for his left side. I don't believe the fall on him hit him. He was already reaching for that left rib or his rib cage. Great defensive play for that Florida defense, though. Remember, they had just been run on for 80 yards. They were challenged. They have to stop the run now.
And they've got Vashon up now. Like I said, just a short walk over to the bench. And Kylan Johnson has come in to take his spot. Meanwhile, it's second down and 11 for the LSU offense. Burrow in the gun. Play action, hit as he throws, incomplete. Polite with the hit on the quarterback.
Well, right now, Ja'Kai Polite, C.J. Jefferson, and Jabari Zuniga are not being able to be handled at all in a pass rush situation. He took Sadiq Charles, number 77, and just threw him away before he hit the quarterback.
Remember, we talked about all the shifts on the offensive line due to injuries and inexperience for LSU, and it showed up today. Burrow trying to buy himself a little time. Now he's going to tuck it and run it, and he's got a first down. Almost tripped himself up and would have been short, but he fell forward.
Decent time to throw downfield, but just a shoe that time. Took him into an on-balance, but he fell forward.
Got 13 on 3rd and 11. Now he's going deep sideline. And looking for a flag as Jefferson. There it comes.
That'll be interference. That's the toughest play for a defensive back. A well underthrown ball. This was not by design at all. Trey Dean, number 21. This is thrown as a deep ball, but it's underthrown, and he grabs Jefferson.
Interference on the defense, number 21. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So that's going to put it around midfield, maybe the 48, somewhere in there.
You know, sometimes you say, okay, that was a well-designed play and they deserve the call, but that was just a poor throw, and LSU was the beneficiary of it.
Rashawn Joseph's back in. First down, LSU back in Gator territory. Edwards-Helaire got 3 yards out of what I thought was going to be no gain.
Yeah, Jabari Zuniga, number 92 that time, beat the block, disrupted the play. He was in the backfield, and that's how you play good defense. If you can force that running back to make a cut before he wants to, you can pretty much stop the run.
A field goal would give LSU the lead, but a precarious one of 2 points. Edwards-Helaire again. This time, David Reese all over him.
Some guys just have a knack for feeling the blocking scheme and going behind it to make the tackle. Coming on the left side, he's going to come behind the blocking scheme and make the tackle. You have to have a lot of trust in your ability to stay behind the play and then backdoor the tackle.
Reese, who had back-to-back seasons against these guys of 12 tackles, has got to be in that area again today. It is 3rd and 7.
Ja'Kai Polite, 99. C.C. Jefferson, 96.
Joe Burrow hit again, trying to throw it.
And it was C.C. Jefferson that made the play that time. They helped on Ja'Kai Polite. They double-teamed one side, so the other guy makes the play. Watch the help to this side. The sack or the forced fumble comes from the other side. Help on one side, no help on the other side. That's what you call a duo of pass rushers.
So they don't get to an area where they can try a field goal. They'll have to punt. Josh Roden in to kick. Freddie Swain is back for the Gators at the 10-yard line. Swain's going to let this one go, and it's going to be a beauty for LSU down around the 3 somewhere. So 6:24 remaining. Florida's got the lead by 1, but they are in a deep hole down near their own goal line. Tonight on CBS begins with back-to-back comedies, The Neighborhood and Happy Together, followed by God Friended Me and a new edition of 48 Hours. Tonight, only CBS.
Let's see what you got, Florida. You're going up against one of the great defenses of college football. You know if you dish up a 3-and-out here, it's most likely going to be a 3-point field goal for LSU. You have to make at least 2 first downs here.
Trying to stay within a game of Georgia and Kentucky. That's what Florida's trying to do, to try to go to 5-1. LSU trying to go to 6-0 and remain perfect and remain in the top 5. Gators from their own 4. Jordan Scarlett in the backfield. Tony gets a handoff on a sweep, and he got maybe 3. Good job by Delpit to stay home there and follow number 4 across the field to make the tackle. Last drive, Felipe Franks rushed for 12, caught a pass from Krull, and threw for 26. Right now, he'd just like to get it out to the 15. But it's going to be on the ground if they do it. Scarlett will not get there. Will Farrell made the tackle. And it's 3rd down and a big one coming up. Gary said they need 2 first downs. They're a yard away from one of them.
Well, you know what Dan Mullen wants to call. He wants to call the quarterback run. It's worked for him before. Will he dial it up now?
Scarlett inside, got it, and still going. Jordan Scarlett with a big first down at the 5-minute mark.
Well, it hasn't been pretty for Jordan Scarlett. He's had to make people miss in the hole all day, but it's been tough yards that he's produced, and producing this first down might be one of the big ones. Fairly well blocked, but Scarlett, who rushed for over 100 yards 2 years ago against this defense, is the guy that was called on to make the first down.
He stays in there on a first down at the 19-yard line. They pitch it to him. Scarlett looking for a block on the corner, trying to stiff arm, and Devin White's I'll give you a little bit, like maybe a yard.
How about that speed from the linebacker spot? That's what the people who watch this tape of this defense say. Look where he is. He's on the back side, and he runs down the running back and makes the play for a yard gain. It looked like they had him outflanked, didn't it? And when that ball was pitched.
Now Franks with 3 wide receivers to his left as a look back to his sideline on 2nd and 9. 2 yards of the first down marker.
A first down here puts the clock in play in this game.
And we've got a timeout. Oh, we have a man down. We have a man down. It's Rashard Lawrence for the second or third time today. Holding his right shin or calf. Could be a cramp as well.
Well, he struggled a year ago with ankle problems and missed a few games. Plays a lot of plays, taking on 2 blockers. Good job by that Florida offensive line to make it 3rd and short again. Remember, with a first down here, the clock is major. It will force LSU to think about using their timeouts.
Majority of the time, Rashard Lawrence is battling about 700 pounds on the other side, and he did get double teamed and walking off gingerly.
I always feel like once you have an ankle sprain or a bad ankle injury, it never really goes away.
Yeah, it's true. It's given Felipe Franks a long chat with Dan Mullen on the sideline. Last time on 3rd and 1, they gave it to Jordan Scarlett, and he worked his way for the first down to pick up the first of what Gary said they needed, at least 2 first downs, even if they just had to play field position, because they were buried down inside their own 10 to start this drive. Scarlett's in there.
Miranda has to come after this. He has to bring everybody here, doesn't he?
Scarlett again. He's got the first down out to the 30.
Now Coach O has to start looking at that clock.
He has 3 timeouts. And now the fans are booing because we got another player down from the defensive line, Glenn Logan.
I'll tell you, when Florida came back to that game against Mississippi State at halftime, you know what the adjustment was? At halftime, Dan Mullen said, you got to play tougher. He looked at his offensive line and said, you got to play tougher. And they have played tough running offense with that offensive line right here. Again, Jawan Taylor rooted out that first down. They ran right behind number 65.
And again, the fans were booing because they think that Glenn Logan's taking a little breather with the injury. But you're going to see him get
97 right there, gets bent back.
Yeah.
I would say that's it. Yeah, that's what it is right there. You get bent back like that. It really doesn't have any effect on the clock. It could if you were going hurry up, but no way Florida's going to go hurry up in this situation. They're going to bleed out all the clock they can. If LSU doesn't take a timeout, that thing will not be snapped above 5 seconds.
Well, Gary, about 3.5 hours ago, you and I talked about the could-be's, the would-be's, and the will-be's.
Yep.
Contenders, pretenders. I think they're both contenders.
I do, too. I think it's a tough game to win on the road for LSU. They did it once at Auburn. They come in here, they knew they were going to get their best shot from this Florida defense. It's still, the Florida defense is, I think, equal to almost any defense in this league. The offense hasn't catch up, but I thought running the ball today, they've shown signs that they're on their way. They've run the ball now for over 200 yards in this game.
Perine with 81, Scarlett 66, Franks 42, and Tony 21.
And you know the most important of it is 66 of it has been here in the fourth quarter when they really needed to do it, including those 2 first downs out from their own 3-yard line.
So now they're hoping for another first down, which would put them out at the 40. 2 timeouts left for Florida. LSU with all 3. And the clock working its way down to the 3-minute mark.
No hurry here. Still got about 7 seconds.
Cleveland and Jefferson, the 2 wideouts to the left.
Smartly done by Franks.
Scarlett going to lose a couple here.
With the loss right there, I think Orgeron should take a timeout right now, and he does. If Florida picks up 9 yards, you save it. But when you get a tackle for a loss, you use it.
In today's
More news out of Florida. Headlines again. Reports out of the Sunshine
What are
State.
they doing in Florida?
Us, working on things that add $840 billion to the economy, and growing plants in space, defending us from brain disease and threats to our food supply. We secure 70% of the nation's vitamin C, educated the father of the PC and the mother of the conservation movement. And we help make it all possible for the greater good at the University of Florida.
So LSU uses its first timeout with Florida facing a second down and a long 11.
And if you're Dan Mullen calling plays here, you got to, in your head, think they've got a great field goal kicker, a guy that hasn't missed. I got to figure out a way to make another first down. I don't want to put my defense out there having to defend half a field.
Franks loads. Might have been hit as he threw. He's trying to get it to Cleveland. And he is scraping himself off the turf here at the Swamp.
Was it, I don't know exactly who it was. Was it Ray Thornton, 43, that came around? Yes, it was Thornton, 43.
He just never really got to follow through.
No, he didn't. It spun the ball to his left as he let it go.
So that stops the clock. And it's 3rd and 11. And now Michael Pirine comes in to join Franks in the Gator backfield. 3 wideouts to his left. They have to get to the 40-yard line. They keep it on the ground at Pirine. Not going to get there.
You got to take a timeout.
There's the second.
With the college rule of the first down timeout, they're much more valuable on defense than offense, those timeouts.
Big day today. Or maybe it's not. Maybe it's just a normal day in a normal place with normal crawfish prepared 36 ways. Maybe today you'll make that breakthrough. And maybe tonight you'll break through too. Maybe it'll rain. Maybe you'll shine. Days. For the unpredictable and the unencumbered, at LSU, maybe counts for a little something extra. Maybe. Absolutely.
There was a flag thrown just as we were going to that Ed Orgeron called timeout, and I don't know what it's about, but we're about to hear it. Double unsportsmanlike conducts, I guess.
Van Jefferson got pushed off the pile, number 12 for Florida. But in this situation, if you give the penalty to LSU, if you only call it one way, game's almost over. Offsetting means it's 4th down.
Let's see if we can get what they're looking at. Gary's already seen it. There's one by Kerry
After
Vincent.
the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct fouls against both teams. Number 5 on LSU and number 9 on Florida. Those penalties will cancel. The down counts.
So it's 4th down.
And I think that's the emotion of this game deserves those offsetting penalties right there.
Yep.
Guys, everything matters on this play. LSU got a good stop. Guys are pushing each other. Not the end of the world. These are competitive athletes. You got to earn that penalty at the end of the game. It's almost like basketball. If you're going to drive down the lane, you got to expect to get hit.
Townsend to punt on 4th and 6. Jonathan Giles waits on the other end.
Oh, what a punt.
And again, Giles has to backpedal about 20 yards to make the catch at the 8. Trying to look for a block. Got one, but he'll only get out to the 12.
You talk about flipping the field.
I told you. His punting last week was a huge part of the Mississippi State win.
Well, just think about the success of this drive by Florida. Not only did they take 4 minutes off the clock, or 3 or 4 minutes off the clock, they started on their own 3, and they give the ball back at the 12. That's a successful drive.
But as Gary said, we've already seen Cole Tracy do it once this year, a field goal to win at Auburn. And that's all LSU needs right now. with 1 timeout to go. Joe Burrow steps up, throws short, complete, dropped immediately is D. Anderson by Trey Dean. And the clock will run down near 2 minutes as they come up to the line. Second and 4. Burrow throws incomplete. His receiver fell down. It was intended for Stephon Sullivan.
Pretty good protection on both of those first 2 throws. Sullivan slips and falls on the outcut of the slot right there. See him fall down? No way. Burrow has to anticipate the throw. It's not going to work.
Third down at 4.
Who wins here? Pass rush or pass protection? Story of the game right here.
Blitz. It's intercepted by Florida. Brad Stewart. Touchdown. The only Gator on the roster from the state of Louisiana. Interception by Brad Stewart for a touchdown.
First look, does he score? Yes, he does.
He took the camera and the pylon and everything with him.
After the touchdown. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 9, Florida. That penalty been forced on the kickoff. Touchdown's good.
And this is a huge penalty because this would just be an 8-point game. Joe Burrow threw his first interception of the year, but the game is not over. An extra point here makes it an 8-point game.
McPherson for the point after. Up and good. 27-19.
All-out blitz. You're going to get the overload blitz to the short side. It's picked up well, but because Florida's blitzing, the Florida defensive backs jump the routes. They don't think he's going to have time to throw it, and he was right. So for the second straight game, with the game on the line, Todd Grantham brings the blitz. And for the second straight week, one time it's a sack by a safety. This time it's an INT by the safety.
Brad Stewart. The play of the game so far. The sophomore out of New Orleans.
For Florida, it would have been a better deal for him to have stepped out at the 3. You can't lose if you step out at the 3. The game is still alive here with an 8-point game. No one's going to try to do that. I get it. But just the way it goes sometimes.
That's right. With LSU with only 1 timeout left, you can run the clock out.
Yes, you can.
So now LSU has their return guys.
Plus the penalty is going to give them great field position.
Right. They have got their return guys around the 15 to 20 yard line area.
The only difference is before they needed a field goal, now they need a touchdown and a 2-point play.
McPherson to kick off.
And I don't think they've had a kickoff return today, have they?
Well, this one's from a different spot, though.
This one might get there, too.
Not be either. Going to be fielded at the 3 by Edwards Hilaire. Edwards Hilaire trying to get to the left corner. Not going to get there. Who else? Gardner Johnson.
It is, but it was a face mask, I think, right on the end of the play.
During the return, personal foul, face mask, return team, number 23. 15 yards from the end of the run. First down.
First of all, what a kickoff. 15-yard penalty, still almost put it in the end zone.
And then there could have been a fair catch called right here.
Yeah,
but instead, Edwards-Helaire decided to bring it.
Yeah, he couldn't track it down to fair catch it. And then Chauncey Gardner-Johnson reaches out to make the tackle and gets 15 more yards. The game
just barely. He's got one finger inside that face mask. Had him on the shoulder pads, but a finger or two in there, and it's a costly penalty. And the guy that's down is Ventrell Miller on the special teams. 1:37 to play. LSU's got one timeout to work with. They're going to get the ball at the 27-yard line.
Now, obviously, the odds are still in Florida's favor. LSU has to go the length of the field. But for a crowd that thought the game was over, they look up and start subtracting. Whoops, still a ball game.
That's how much green they've got to cover, and they need a touchdown. And a two-point conversion. That's a lot to ask with 1:37, Joe Burrow. Burrow in trouble, goes down again. It's C.C. Jefferson. No, it's Polite again.
Take a timeout. You have to take a timeout. And this is the part of the game where Joe Burrow, if it's not there, has to get rid of it. First of all, he burns a timeout. Even if he would have got out of the pocket, he would have only got 4 or 5 yards. Time more valuable than yards for the quarterback on that running play.
Let's take a look at the GMC game changer. Felipe Franks, much maligned a year ago on the pitch.
Yeah, he's done about it all here in the second half. He's run the option. He's run the package where he does play action pass by himself. And he's caught passes too. He's done just about everything.
LSU out of timeouts. Their undefeated string on the line. 1:29 to go. Burrow steps up, throws. Down he goes again. Another sack. Zuniga that time. And that's sack number 5.
You just got to throw the ball. If it's not there, throw it out of bounds. All day, that mental clock should have been ticking. You know your offensive line cannot hold up that long.
Going to be about a minute left on the snap. 3-man rush for Florida. Burrow, far sideline, tipped. Incomplete. Brad Stewart, who had the interception a moment ago, tipped that one away.
I thought this one was going to be picked off, too. I thought Stewart had it all the way. He almost overran it.
Last chance for the Tigers. Loads it. Deep middle. Got it complete. Derek Dillon. On a huge 4th down, they complete this.
Florida only rushed 3 players on that one. Only a 3-man rush by Florida.
45 seconds. Burrow. Far side going to throw this one away.
That's what you got to do. So on 4th and long, the MO, bring people. That time, Todd Gratham said, no, I'm going to sit back. Joe Burrow took advantage of it and produced a first down.
On 4th and 17, he got 23 yards down the middle to keep the game alive.
I guarantee you, if this ball crosses the 50-yard line, they're going to start blitzing.
They've only got one guy in a stance defensively, a 3-man rush. Burrow throws to the near sideline. Jefferson, it went through his hands. It would have been a huge catch.
That was a good look-off by Joe Burrow. He faked as if he was going to throw the ball to the middle. He went to the outside, and it was a catchable ball.
We've seen Jefferson make a lot of these already this year.
That was almost one you depend on him catching. That was a perfect look-off by Burrow, and that would have set up gut-wrenching time for the Florida defense and their fans.
3rd down and 10. 34 seconds to play.
They're going to rush 3 again, or will they bring more?
Right now it's just 3. Burrow. Far side. Got it. No. Get it out of the hands.
Again.
Stephon Sullivan had it and dropped it.
That's 3 straight plays that Todd Grantham has brought 3 rushers. One time they pick up 4th and 19. The next 2 they drop the passes.
I think Sullivan was worried about getting out of bounds and forgot to catch the ball.
But there's no reason for it, though, because on a 1st down, the clock stops.
Another 4th down. Last time it was 4th and 17.
No way they just rushed 3 here. They're going to bring 4, aren't they? No, it doesn't look like it.
Florida. Well, it's not a LSU timeout. They don't have any.
Timeout. Florida.
So, 28 seconds remaining. In a game that has been a thrill of minutes, especially in the second half. LSU won the last 2 times they played in Gainesville, in 14 and in 17. A couple of plays ago on 4th and 17. Oh, no, that was a couple of plays ago when that was catch drop.
Yeah. After the 4th and 17, they go to Jefferson to the outside for the drop and then back-to-back drops again. Now, remember, Todd Grantham is also playing against the clock here, too. So he knows that the clock is ticking away and he's able to rush 3. But I'm telling you, either one of those would have been caught. The strategy would have changed.
4th down and 10. The crowd will tell you whether this next pass is complete or not. It's intercepted. Game over. So Joe Burrow, who hadn't thrown an interception all year, threw a pick 6. And then Steiner, the guy that ended the game at Mississippi State on a safety blitz sack a week ago, comes up with the game clincher.
Just a 3-man rush. Jeremiah Moon comes around the corner to put the pressure on the quarterback. Derek Dillon thought he had the seam down the middle. Did he? Looks like it would have been a tough squeeze to me. No real place to throw the football. Good defense all the way around. Got the benefit of a couple drops, but the interception proved to be the difference in the game.
Substitution on the defense. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
Well, you know, Felipe Franks might have only gone 12 for 27, but I thought he showed a lot in this game.
Yep. So a month ago, everybody that's a Florida Gator fan is saying we lost to Kentucky, and then Kentucky undefeated right now. And now Florida, 3 straight SEC wins, keeping pace in the SEC East with a huge win at home. We said it a few minutes ago. Who's a pretender? Who's a contender? Both these teams at 5-1, and I will wager to say they're both still contenders. Last chance, the last gasp, and the interception by Donovan Steiner finishes it off for Dan Mullen's Gators.
When you're defensive coordinator and you dial it right, that's what it feels like.
Winning coaches with Jamie.
Coach, we talked at halftime about the physicality of this game, but in the end, what was the difference maker?
What was that? In the 3rd quarter, in that middle stretch, we got a little out physical, but we buckled down at the end, made plays. This team has found a lot of different ways to win games. We did it again today. It's great to see the Swamp back to being the Swamp and giving us that home field advantage.
What can you say about the way Felipe Franks operated this offense, especially down the stretch?
They did a heck of a job. You know, I mean, he was getting banged up. They did a good job getting pressure on us. He never flinched, did a great job managing us, making plays like we asked him to do, kept his focus and kept making plays for the whole 4 quarters.